Can you hear the music? You have the little
Powered by Riverside.
Yes. Get into it. Get into it. Love it. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to JT Unfiltered. I am your host, Jonathan Tager, the one, the only real estate broker extraordinaire here in New York City. And today is an awesome day. Every day is an awesome day, right? Is every day not an awesome day? I think so. But it's an even more awesome day because I have an amazing guest, and there's so much that I want to say, and I'm working on my intro, but I'm going to give you, let's start with the accolades, right? I mean, for me, the biggest accolade, right, is French Open doubles champion. Would you say, okay, before I get into the introduction, I'm sorry, we have to interrupt the introduction.
Yeah.
All right. But is French Open when you look back at your life, is that your biggest accolade? Like, is that when you look back at your dude, I did that. Is French Open one of the first few things, or what? Talk to me.
Well, things are different today than they were in 1993 or even 2000 or 1999. My perspective is going to be completely different. If I were to be completely honest about my greatest achievement as a human being, it has nothing to do with tennis. We'll talk about that stuff. It would be my overcoming mental health challenges. And 4.5 years ago, I dropped dead of a cardiac arrest and surviving 18 minutes dead on a court. My hands and my body was cold and gray, and I'm no longer with us. And then after 6 shocks of an AED and 7 days in a coma, and the recovery from my mental health, my brain injury and the concussions, alongside, those are my best wins, the things I'm most grateful for.
Yep.
Now, mind you, I did play a little tennis in the 1900s, 93, and with my brother Luke.
Yep.
And I've seen some things. Like I said, 4 years ago, I'm dead for 20 minutes, and I was on the other side. I crossed over to the other side. And so my perspective is how grateful I am to have ever played the game of tennis. Everything beautiful in my life is due to two things: my recovery and the game of tennis. The game of tennis gave me a life beyond my wildest dreams. And I'll shut up.
I mean, look, that was the weirdest introduction, by the way, I think I've ever offered, but it needed to be, right? It needed to be, because there's so much that we're going to cover in this interview, I promise. But to start, let's finish the introduction, guys. I've got Murphy Jensen, former French Open doubles champion with his brother Luke, and I mean, much, much more. I mean, God, your resume is pretty packed, right? And obviously beating heart disease. And now, but I also beat heart disease as a 29-year-old. I had an aortic dissection, which is basically what John Ritter died of. So basically that's when your aorta just has an aneurysm and pops like a tire. And not many people survive the actual popping of it. I was lucky, and, same type of thing. God did not want to take me. So, the good news when you survive something like that, and tell me, because I asked you, right, if you had an aha moment, right, where you look at it and be like, holy shit, this is like a second chance, right? Have you had that happen for you? Have you said to yourself, holy shit, I should be dead right now, but I'm alive. So I need to go to the pink lady.
Yeah, the Pink Lady, the Beverly Hills Hotel is calling. That's the other side. I every day. At first I didn't know who I was, where I was. My wife would say, "Murphy, your name is Murphy. I'm your wife, Kate. You've had a cardiac arrest.
This is in the hospital. This is in the hospital.
You're in
Yeah.
the ICU,
So you were out when it all happened. Like you lost consciousness. I'm assuming, right?
dead."
Like you were dead. So okay.
Now,
Like yeah.
everything I'm going to share about that experience was told to me about my brother from Luke, my brother.
Was he there? He was there.
He was returning my serve that I never got to serve. I tossed the ball drops, I drop, my skull cracks open. There's a big scar on it, and I'm bleeding out on the baseline.
God.
He's got he runs to my aid. My wife,
Was it during a point, Murphy? It was
no,
during a
I
point.
was serving my first serve, second game of the match, of an exhibition match with a crowd of people, maybe 300 people. Luckily, there were some off-duty medical professionals there and an ex-fire chief. And just the day before, Luke had been onboarded and was shown where the AED was. And the first thing that was screamed when I hit the ground was, "Where's the AED?" Because there is
What's an AED exactly? What is that?
automatic external defibrillator. It's what you see in airports with the lightning bolt through it. You see it at football games. An AED is it shocks a heart. So my heart experience was not a plumbing issue; it was an electrical issue, and so my
You had a
heart
blockage? Is that what it was?
that's plumbing.
That's
It was
plumbing. Okay.
fully electrical. So there's a reason they call things electrolytes. When I was dehydrated. My doctors said I had low potassium. I was in high altitude and potentially too much caffeine on that given day. And it was a perfect storm for someone that had a viral cardiomyopathy 15 years prior, which a virus attacked my heart. That affected my heart function, which led to AFib, atrial fibrillation issues. And I had a number of cardioverts where they shock your heart back into rhythm.
Yep.
And before the cardiac arrest ever occurred, my heart function was less than 8% in those days of the viral. That's why I took COVID so serious, and the medication and everything else was because I had an experience already where a virus attacked my heart and nearly killed me. And my heart function, the crazy part, I've had 2 ablations, and that's where they ablate the spots in the heart that short. And so, if I go into out of rhythm of normal heart function, my heart rate can go up to 200 beats, 220 beats per minute, and the heart will shut down if that happens. And I'm really weak when my heart goes out of rhythm, and if I'm in stressed, or there's so many functions. Being a mental health advocate and now a heart health advocate, I have learned through genosequencing and mapping of my heart cells at the Stanford Heart Institute that it turned out that my heart cells respond to stress differently than a normal heart cell. So stress, I'm playing a tennis match.
You're talking about physical stress, or are you talking about just like life stress?
Mental stress,
All of it. All of it.
I believe I can give myself a heart attack through my mind, through my mind's eye, through worry, through fears. I mean, think about it. If we were in a dangerous, and how my aha moment, back to the original question is, I've been gifted, I'm sure you have in your way, a psychic change where I know unequivocally that I'm living on house money. And if you've never been to Las Vegas or to a casino, house money is when, statistically, I'm not supposed to be having this conversation right now. And in my early recovery days, after I was transported to this beautiful place and I did a lot of holistic healing there, we went back to Seattle to our home. I really didn't think, based on what you're telling me, that what I'm experiencing is real. Even though my wife said, go take out the trash. No,
Well, like how long were you recovering from this? Like how long were you in the hospital?
well, I was 6 days into a coma and another 7 days out of the coma. And then they did a cognitive test on a Thursday where I scored 0 out of 20 brain function. By Monday,
Do you even remember that
I had a moment where I asked the nurse, well, I was seeing some things. I absolutely had a serious vegetable like brain injury because your head, I would explain to people, was a head of lettuce with eyeballs. I was
like you weren't there? You were there, but you weren't really there.
no. I
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
another orbit. And then, but I had the wherewithal to ask the ICU nurse for a bowl of ice water because that was a treatment that I use for stress and anxiety and the beta nerves by putting my face almost like a polar plunge and into a bowl of ice water. And so that Thursday, I 0 out of 20 on the cognitive test. By Monday, I got 19 out of 20.
19 out of.
Yeah.
So
So
wait,
within
Monday. So
8 weeks,
Thursday to Monday. Thursday to
yeah,
Monday.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we're looking at 10 days, and then I get exited, and I'm in Colorado Springs a couple of weeks before I eventually go home. But then,
So
I
like
was
less than a
I
month.
would
Less
have
than a
been
month.
to work for 10 months.
You couldn't work. You were like at home for 10 months.
I couldn't lift this water bottle.
Yeah.
And I whiteboarded the recovery. I whiteboarded every morning, every afternoon, every day, the entire world and my house and anything I would spin. Things would spin, and sometimes it comes back if I lay down a bench press or whatnot. The I will get
Pressure or what? The
vertigo. I
Yeah.
think it's
Yeah.
from hitting my head, and I'm very sensitive even today, 4.5 years later, of of people suffering, and I'm very sensitive to something that don't feel safe, like an icy road.
Yeah.
I
Like you're
won't be
like we
riding
like
a
what? It gives you
motorcycle.
anxiety or what? It gives you
What's
anxiety.
that?
It gives you anxiety or what do you mean you're sensitive to it? Like you won't do it. You're like, no, we got to get off the road or like
We
what?
got to get off the road.
Yeah.
This ain't happening. I'll
But what if
walk.
there's nowhere to go? Like what do you like? What you're just like what if there's nowhere to go and you're on like the road?
I will walk.
We'll walk, pull over.
I
Like it's
don't
like pull
care.
over.
I'm not going to be on this icy road.
Like we're not doing it.
I've
We're not
died
doing it.
once. I don't want to. I've been there, done that. It's crazy. I got an email the other day. You're a tennis player, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
The
yeah. Of
word on the
course.
street is you're the best in your own mind, but I could be wrong.
Who me? I'm definitely the best in my own mind. Yeah,
Me
absolutely.
too. Me too. So, uh,
Well, you're
tennis,
probably pretty good. I
tennis has
mean,
been a form of medicine for me. You
your
know,
whole life, or you're talking right now? Right now?
right now.
No, no, no. Tennis has been a
Amazing
medicine for you right now
medicine since the cardiac arrest.
since the cardiac arrest.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it improves my brain function and all kinds of stuff. And I at first was just could only do mini tennis because everything would spin and whatnot, and then it helped with the vertigo and things like that. Swimming helped. So many different activities helped, and I continue to do them every day. Um, and when we get off the phone, I'm going to go find someone to hit some tennis balls with if it gets sunny. Uh,
I wish I lived near you because I would hit balls.
yeah, I love hitting balls.
I
Uh,
mean,
I guess what I was getting at jokingly is that my friend sends me an email. Harvard medical center and the scientists' research has shown that people that play tennis are going to live
Yeah.
longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
dropped dead on a tennis court, okay?
Yeah. And I've been playing
Maybe
more
I was
tennis.
playing bad and God wasn't impressed.
I
And,
think too much tennis is like too much though. It's so hard on your body. It's like, oh my God. It's
I
like,
really believe what people don't realize is that the game of tennis takes, you need to be really fit to
yeah.
play well.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to move well. And the game of tennis is played with your feet and not the racket or the ball. I mean, you got those things, but the better my feet and my conditioning is, the better I can become.
How's your game right now? Like, are you
I
feeling,
out.
can you take your brother out right now? Like who, do you guys ever like hit and like play competitively against each other?
Yeah, no. He has no knees. He has no knees.
He does have no knees.
He has no knees. I play. I will play center if he wants to go.
If he wants to go.
Let's go.
Let's go. Let's do this.
Go.
So I mean, okay, so look,
My
let's
aha moment is I'm
yeah.
able to live every day like it's my last.
That was the aha moment. Like
What?
that was your aha
Well,
moment.
that's the mindset I've been gifted. The reality is, who the hell knows about tomorrow? I live a life rooted in forgiveness, and I'm going to be enjoying myself for as long as I'm here. I know the value of a good belly laugh. I
Yeah.
know the value of a healthy heart, like you
Yeah.
understand that. I understand, from the mental health side, that story has been the healing of a broken heart, and I get to an aha moment. I mean, they're happening all the time. So I recently was told I won the lottery.
Is that true? Like someone said
Literally,
you won the lottery?
part of my recovery has been doing
Well,
Reiki.
you won the lottery by not dying,
Well,
is
there's
what you're
one.
saying.
That's one way to look at it.
Yeah.
But I was I
Well,
did
who cares? Who wants to win the lottery and be dead, right?
well. Yeah, it's kind of like the
I'd
song
rather,
by Alanis
yeah.
Morissette. But
Is it?
won the lottery and died the next day.
It's,
But then, no, I part of my healing has been doing energy work in Reiki, and Reiki is this energy work, and it really helps my heart. It helps my head. Helps me be grounded and stay grounded. And in this particular therapy in January, I've been doing it for a year and a half. My healer says, I'm picking up from you, your energy, and where there's stress and anxiety and stuff, that today is the luckiest day of your life. I've never shared this story out loud.
I love it.
This
I
is
love it.
January this year.
Yep.
And I said, with all due respect, 4 years ago when I dropped dead and survived, and I'm 4 out of 4,000 people that have survived this cardiac arrest from the fire chief that was there. I'm the
Are those the numbers? 4 out of 5,000?
No, his rescue attempts versus I'm the fourth one to survive, and I think it's less than 3%. It's no bueno that I'm even at a place with an AED, with people that perform chest compressions and CPR.
Did the fact that you, sorry, just a little, just question. Did the fact that you were like, you're a tennis player, you're in good shape, right? Did that matter? Did the fact that like you weren't like a fat schlemiel, would that have, you know what I'm saying? Like, would your chances of survival have been worse if you weren't in relatively good shape?
I was in really great shape. My heart function was through the roof. An electrical short where there was a hole in the road where it stopped and I dropped. And my Reiki therapist says, no. That's not luck. That was a miracle. And it's funny. I said, my doctors called me Miracle Murphy, that I'm still here and that I've made a full recovery. And so I'm driving home and I'm picking up some gas. I'm going in to pay and I see $2 billion, right? And to the lottery winner. So I buy some Washington State lottery.
This is after leaving your Reiki.
So this is a few months ago, January.
Yeah. Okay.
I was
After that meeting where the guy,
in my
yeah.
life. I don't know how
Yeah.
we got onto this.
Okay.
And the next thing you know, I forget about it. It's 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago. I'm at the grocery store and I open my wallet to pay for the milk and eggs, and I see across the counter that there's this lottery thing, and in my wallet I see my old ticket. Oh, I'm gonna go check my tickets. I check my tickets, and the girl looks at me like she's seen a ghost. She says, she looks around so no one can hear. She goes, "You Washington State, 8.8." She goes, "I don't know how much you won." So I said, "Well, can you give me the money?" She goes, "No, you got to call the office."
Yeah,
So
you
I
got to
call
drive it in. How much money did you win?
They can't. I jump on a 35-minute ferry. I drive 2 hours. I pull up and they say, there's a sign, parking sign, reserved for lottery winners only. So I'm thinking, okay, that's a sign. I pull in, I take a selfie.
So I don't understand. You didn't know how much you went, like you didn't know how much you won? You were like, either I won like $1 million or I won like 5,000 or something?
It wasn't two.
Yeah.
It's not one of those where you win 2 or 20 or 10.
Okay. So it was significant money. You drove 2 hours. Okay.
You know, so she goes, you got second place. You got second place.
It was numbers? What was it? It was numbers or it was like a scratch off?
But you got 5 out of 6. Oh my God. Of what? Of the 8.8. I said, oh, that's got to give me something. And I go, what do I get? She goes, you get $1,000. And I'm like, what? Am I going to get a parking ticket because I got second place? So I'm here to tell you.
She reimbursed you for the gas?
I'm here to tell your unfiltered audience, you do not want to finish second place in the lottery.
What'd the first guy get? What first place get?
8.8.
Oh, he got the 8. Are you kidding me?
Yes.
He got 8.8
5
and
out
you
of
got
6. And she goes,
1,000?
yeah. And I had to give her my passport. And I said, yeah. And I'm laughing my ass off.
It is kind of funny.
With the gas to get here. They're giving me a ticket because I didn't win the lottery. I got second place. And so she goes, you needed a 34. And I said, what did I get? She goes, you got a 31. And I go, my dad was born in 1934. I should have known.
It's your fault. It's your fault. That's amazing, though.
Yeah.
How long ago was that? That's ridiculous.
Just like
Second place is 1,000.
weeks ago.
Why even have a second place if first place is 8.8 million and second place is 1,000? That's ridiculous.
Keep it.
That's ridiculous.
But then I mentor some people. And,
Yeah.
My mentee calls and he says, hey, man, take that as a sign. You're on a heater. I'm on a heater? Yeah.
What does that mean? What's a heater?
Survive sudden cardiac death, and you just
Well,
won
that's- yeah.
$1,000, got 5 out of 6. You're on a heater, and the lady says, "Would you like to buy more tickets?" I'm like, "You're damn right.
You're
Let
damn
it
right.
ride."
I'm buying. I mean, how often do you buy
nothing.
tickets? How often are you buying the tickets? Like never?
Nothing.
You got.
I got nothing. I bought $1,000 worth of tickets and got a big goose egg.
Jesus Christ. I mean that's hilarious. All right, so look, I want to go through your life. Can we go through your life really quick? Really quick.
Yeah.
It shouldn't take that long to go through your life, right? No. So look. So you went to SC. We're in the SC hat. Is that correct? You went to USC. You know, everyone in LA calls the university spoiled children. Is that still a thing?
Not if you were born in Beverly Hills, or that would make sense.
That would make sense. Yeah.
Born on a tennis court on a Christmas tree farm in northern Michigan. Some say raised by wolves. Just say I was adopted. I'm way too intelligent for this family.
Sure. So did you always know you were going to play tennis? Like you were like you played tennis? Did you play other sports growing up or no?
Do you have kids?
I do. I have two girls. Yeah.
Okay, so I've got two boys, two different moms, and you know, good luck. Uh, like with my 8-year-old,
To me or to them?
well, good luck to you. Good
Yeah.
luck to them. Good luck thinking. Like I look back, I literally was feel like I was born on a tennis court because when I was probably 3, my dad would tie me or tether me to the net while he played,
Yeah.
and I have pictures and photographs. And then by 6 or 7, we built our own court in our backyard. But I was just around my dad's high school tennis teams, and I would hit on the wall because there was nothing else to do. There's this wall, there's a ball, and there's a racket. And I'm over there hitting balls on a wall. And then the next thing you know, I'm entering a tournament at 6 or 7 years old, the Firecracker Open in northern Michigan, where people would summer from around the country. And I win a little 10 and under tournament at 6 years old. And then I win a novice tournament and a this and a that. And
But you were like what, hitting with your dad to
I
get
learned
better
on
or
the wall.
it was the wall.
And my dad taught us through Tennis Magazine. He would open up the mag. There's no indoor tennis facilities, and we would have 10 feet of snow in northern Michigan. It was just
Yeah.
snow. And
Yeah.
my mother was a gymnastics coach, and so we would go into that gym, and I would play tennis on the wall and jump on the trampoline, and we just played. And by 11, I'm playing in the nationals around the country, and by 12, I'm moving 2 hours south to live with a tennis coach who taught my brother how to serve right-handed and left-handed.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Luke is left-handed, that right-handed,
He
left-handed.
is left-handed?
He's
He's
left-handed that plays right,
yeah.
and I'm right-handed that played left. And the reason, my theory is, those wood rackets in 1972 were so heavy that to hit on the wall, I needed two hands, so I was hitting a two-handed forehand. So where it was an advantage was I got to do a ball toss with my dominant hand. I just needed to learn to throw. And then our tennis coach, when Luke was 11 or 12, saw how far he could throw a football with his left hand and said, okay, you're playing tennis right. Let's see if you could serve with the other hand. And now he's ambidextrous because he's serving righty and lefty.
I've returned his no, I take that back. I've
On the
faced
ball,
his serve.
Rafa's a righty that plays left. And
That's
and I
crazy.
on the ball, Rafa, without the speed or the talent or the guts or the
I mean, you're like much taller than Rafa, aren't you? You're pretty tall, aren't you?
yeah, I'm 6'4".
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Who's older between you and Luke?
He's 2.5 years older.
He's the older brother. Dude, he loves you, man. Let me tell you, that's nice. I see it. Like it's funny because like I know Luke a little bit and now I know you, but like he's always talking about you. I mean, like, oh my God. You must know that. I mean, he like
You said
loves
those
you.
words. Your brother really loves you.
Yeah.
Um, I don't take that statement lightly, and especially I don't know if you know or have heard the story, but when he had my bloodied head in his hands, and his words, "You're dead. This is the last time I'm ever going to talk to you." He's screaming. They say that you could have heard him 10 states away. Jensen's never quit. This is not your time. I need you. Kate needs
This is what Luke's saying. Luke's saying that to you.
screaming it.
Yeah.
Bloody murdered because I'm not here. This is what he told me is this is the last time he's ever going to speak to me. And he has nothing to lose.
I mean,
And he was trying to start my heart with everything he's got. I mean, God, so when you say your brother really loves you, I am so lucky to have Luke as my older brother. He's kept made me feel safe and protected since I was a little kid. Since I can remember, since I was 5, 6, I got hit by a car riding my bike to school, and are you okay? Um, can you walk? He gave me his bike because my bike was bent in half. He goes, I'll walk it, and I don't want you to be late. So he's been protecting me. He's been
Like
caring.
always, right? Always, your whole life, you would say.
And
Yeah.
then, to speak about a professional career, you want to know what a partnership looks like? We're on a 10 or 11 match losing streak in the clay court season. This is our first year on the tour playing together. We're on a major losing streak, and he's got semifinals of Rome, finals of Bologna, quarterfinals of the French. That points, his ranking is about to plummet if we don't get some wins. And we're in Hamburg, and I said, hey, man, this isn't working out for us. If you need to find another partner, get somebody else. And
What
and
year is this? Like, when's this?
93.
This is the year you guys won it all. Okay.
And I told him in Hamburg, go play with so and so. Your old partner is looking for a partner, needs a partner who he made the quarterfinals of the French with last year. And he goes, Murphy, I believe in you. I believe in your ability. I believe in us. I don't care if we drop to 10,000 in the world. You've got what it takes. And so we go to Rome after him telling me that and deciding that he's going to continue to play with me. We beat the defending French Open champions. We make the semis of Rome, finals of Bologna, and we win the French Open. I was 3 weeks away. I had said to my boss or my partner that you need to look for someone else. I am not helping, and it was in my head. I was putting so much pressure on myself I didn't need to put on myself. And next thing you know, it's the night before the French, and he goes, "We can win this thing," and we did. So yeah,
That's crazy.
right.
What was the feeling? I mean, did you guys go out and party that night? Like, you won. What happened? You won the French Open
Yeah,
with your brother.
yeah.
Talk to me. Then what? So you won, match over. What'd you do?
I mean, you get the trophy, you get the check, you're in the locker room. The truth is, the absolute truth is, which ladders up to maybe stuff you want to talk about later. Is
You Netflixed and chilled? No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
that's
Yeah, we just watched a movie. We stayed in. We had some Ben and Jerry's.
so I actually had a panic attack in the locker room,
Oh my God.
and I was throwing up, and in the moment.
After
In the
after you had
in the
won?
moment, though, but I was so tunnel vision, and Luke will tell you this. I'm walking off the stadium court. My mind was so monomaniacally focused. It was always next point, next game, next match. And it was the first like big event I'd ever won. Of course, I know there's trophy presentations, but like I'm going straight to the locker room. Monsieur Jensen, you must go get your trophy.
Yeah.
The thing. Like
How
I'm
old are you? How old are you here, Murphy?
24.
24. That's
So when
young.
you
Wow.
get the trophy and all this stuff, and I'm in the locker room, and I remember a couple of things like it's empty. You don't. It's not like Major League Baseball or basketball or football, and you had champagne and right.
Yeah.
It's empty.
There's no one there. It's just the two of you.
Nobody's there.
It was just the
Nobody.
two of you? Some reporters or
It
something, or
was
no?
somewhere I don't remember, but I just personally it shut the world shut down on me, and uh, my head was telling a different story than um, what was happening. Like in that moment, we're the best in the world that day. We're the best in the world on that given day, and the tennis gods. I'm part of the club. When that happened, but my insides were terrified for some reason of what was to come. And that was the birth of rock and roll tennis, grunge tennis, this whole thing. Did we go out that night? I settled down. I didn't tell anybody that what I was feeling and experiencing, and I had a head that would say that I sucked, that I wasn't enough, that I measured up,
After winning, you were
and
still
then
telling yourself
I'd
that?
be
Yeah.
I'd be like the word terrified. So it's called the mental health disorder. I had a panic attack and anxiety, and then which led to depression. And then in that depression, I would isolate. I remember playing at the U.S. Open. Jensen brother mania was born, and
Yeah, I mean, you guys were huge. I mean,
they they said we were the third largest draw in the game. Agassi, Sampras, and the Jensen brothers. We're playing stadium court every night.
yeah.
We're getting things no doubles team had ever gotten before. It was a life that basically I had the skill set. It would be like in business to have the skill set to start a hedge fund, build a real estate empire, but to live with it, to live with it. I got it. Why do I want to jump out of a window in New York City right now? Why is my head telling me that it's a good idea to not be here anymore? And I'd escape being with me at all cost, and would start in a hotel room with the mini bar with alcohol, and then pills, and then drugs, and in 1999. But back to the thing, I went to the Bandush, and we had a celebration, and Luke doesn't never he's never had a drink in his life to this day, and he we just were a family, and we had some food and stuff like that. Now the funny part about me going out to the fancy supermodel nightclubs
Yeah.
that they weren't letting me in. And then the tour ATP tour manager Ulf says, Murphy just won the French Open doubles with his brother, and he says, "Do you have any proof? Give your credentials." You know,
He just said.
I said, "Oh shit! Here's my check for 200 grand.
You're walking around with the check.
5 million francs, French francs." So come on in, Mister Jensen. Main bottles are $200 a bottle. Anyway, it's been such a wild road. This thing called life for me. It's nothing that anybody would. All right, since this is unfiltered,
Yeah.
I'm going to take it, and it's
Take it. Let's go. Let's hear it. Let's see who it is.
Larry.
Hi, Murph. How you doing? Just calling up to say hi.
I am looking at your book on my desk, The Comeback Kid, that I shared with. I just want to say I love you. You know what I'm doing right now? I am airing the greatest podcast in the world. And I told them when Larry Love calls me, I pick up.
He's answering the phone live on air. Unfiltered.
You're live on air. Can I call you back when I'm done?
Yeah, sure.
Love you, Larry.
Should we ask Larry a few questions? Can we ask Larry?
I'll call you in 15 minutes.
Bye.
Bye. Now,
That's awesome.
Has a book
Yep. What's his book?
called The Comeback Kid.
What's that about?
He's 98 years old this month.
Larry's 98 years old? He sounds very good for 98 years old.
Serves aces.
Is he playing tennis?
And he's one of my mentors. He's been playing all his life. And he built and funded the Kerry Leeds Tennis Center, which is a beautiful tennis center in New York City that's named after his son, who was a top 50 tennis player in the world. And this is a tennis place for kids to receive tennis for free that can't afford tennis. And
Amazing.
so,
Where is it? Where is that?
Kerry Leeds
Where-
Tennis Center?
Yeah. Where in New York, Amanda? In Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's the most beautiful place you've ever seen.
Well, that's amazing. What part of Brooklyn? I'll look it up. I mean, I'll look it up. But
let's
Yeah.
make sure it's in Brooklyn. It might be.
Oh, it might not be in Brooklyn.
I'm not from New York.
I
I'm
know
not from
it's
New York.
okay. Whatever. Brooklyn is enough. I mean, it sounds like it would be in Brooklyn. Here, we could look it up.
The
Should we look it
Bronx.
up? The Bronx. Okay, it's in the
The
Bronx.
Bronx. See, I live in Seattle. Bronx
I
and
went to your
Brooklyn.
brother to the Bronx years ago. We went to the
Put me
Bronx.
down in the Bronx.
You know, it was cool. Your brother took me. He was doing team tennis,
Yeah,
and like I was hanging. I was Marty Fish for the day.
yeah.
I was using like Marty Fish's old tag, and I was hanging out, just watching tennis. And Billie Jean King came in and started, being
No
Billie Jean King.
way.
It was pretty cool. I was like, this is pretty cool. I
Yeah,
got Billie Jean
yeah,
sitting right next to me, and we're watching. I think it was Sloane Stevens or something.
yeah.
She's like, if she just was off Instagram, she'd be such a better player.
That is so funny.
Right. So tell me what you're doing right now, because we're running out of time. I know you got to go,
Oh,
and you don't know how much I appreciate having you on the show. So please, if you got to go, go.
no.
But I do want to hear about what.
Well, let's make sure that we do this right.
Yeah, I want to hear about, because I know you're working. You do a bunch of other things other than tennis, outside tennis, that I definitely want to get to. So let's start talking about mental health, because I think that's super important. And when I hear you even talk about what you were just talking about, it gets me, right? Because it's like so many people, I think, have these feelings and are in their own head. And it's like, it's so important to be able to talk about them and to be able to talk to people who can help, or at least listen, and do your best, right? Because when it's too late, it's too late, right? So tell me what you're doing in as far as that goes.
Well, I'm the co-founder of We Connect Health Management. It's a healthcare tech company, basically a mobile app with support and services for those struggling with mental health and addiction challenges. We've stood up a platform that has support group meetings. All pathways of recovery are welcome. We serve Medicaid and Medicare across the United States. We've served millions of people from 30 countries. It comes in 2 languages now.
It's subscription based, like these people pay
Yeah, well,
monthly, or
there's
how
a
does that?
premium version of the app. Go to We Connect Health in any app store and you can find it. We Connect Health. Go to weconnecthealth.io and check out the website. We also serve employers as a mental health employee assistance EAP, employee assistance program benefit. So it's a mental health benefit that anonymously and confidentially people can get coaching and support, or unpack a crisis and get help right now.
Like if you're a member on the app and you have like, oh my God, I'm depressed, or I want to kill myself or something like that, you can go on the app and speak to someone immediately. Like, is that
Yeah, so if there's similar to like a lot of places, there's the support. If you can't get to somebody, there's 988. It will directly fast fire you to
to someone?
where you need to go, where you live, when and if you get to a peer recovery support specialist or a mental health coach, they can support you in navigating, offloading what's going on, and some people are at wit's end and they don't want to live it anymore. I get calls from Hall of Fame tennis players that don't want to live it anymore. I get calls from same type of people, my peers in tennis or out of tennis, that son or daughter is on life support. I got a call from somebody who wanted to work for our company, We Connect, and she had taken her life and didn't succeed. She jumped off the Nashville Bridge, and I don't say these things lightly. When if I were to, people talk about legacy and finding your purpose. Nobody would. I've been through hell and back, personally.
You're talking from your anxiety and from your
And stuff like that.
yeah.
And I'm someone in long-term recovery, almost 26 years, and I can say with a sound mind that I've never been more comfortable in my skin, thank God, than I am today. Now, is everything perfect? It doesn't. I used to think it had to be. You know, a lot of athletes and our kids today, they're allowed to make mistakes. They're allowed. There's so much pressure in our minds to not make mistakes that we're allowed to. The things I wish I would have known when I was playing on the tour, you know, I could not. I was only as sick as my secrets, and there was no safe place on the professional tennis tour to say I need help. I'm scared. I have a head that says it doesn't want to be here anymore. I have a head that says that I'm a piece of garbage. Um, and I'll stay focused on that. And building this company 10 years ago, I left the game of tennis as a business to create something with my co-founder with the sole intention to help people. And I'm still aha moment. I'm still here today. I have no other reason to be here than to be helpful and useful to others until the day I die. To be of service to others. Arthur Ashe said in a quote that true heroism is remarkably sober, very undramatic. It's not the urge to surpass others at whatever cost, but to serve others at whatever cost. That is a hero. And service saved my life. Instead of a hotel manager calling the police, he called an interventionist and he shared his experience. And that experience gave me hope that I didn't have to die that day. And I went through a psych ward and a detox and a sober living while being a top 10 player in the world. And then I would go to support group meetings in Sydney or Melbourne, Australia, and during the French Open at the American Church, and that's what I was doing. And I was building the foundation to help to heal a broken heart and to help this guy named Murphy experience psychic change that would free him from the throes of addiction and mental health, all that. So that's the work I've been doing, and I'm careful in using the word proud, but I am the most proud of that work than anything. It's the most important and impactful work I will ever do as a human being.
Yeah.
The fentanyl and addiction crisis and all that, it is the 120, 30,000 people will die of an accidental overdose every year. That's the equivalent of an airplane, a commercial airplane crashing with no survivors every day. I know the data and the outcomes, and we have been able to improve these outcomes with access to care in real time. It's not when I think I need it, it's when I need it. And if I have the tools like I do today, I practice in my recovery every day. I can't stay clean on yesterday's shower. I've been really lucky to watch this thing called recovery unfold, not only for me personally, but I gotta say, become the person I was born to be. And there's nothing more important to me than to be of service to others, in whatever capacity. It could just be being kind. And because of the cardiac arrest, and now my point of reference is when I checked into that psych ward and went through that detox and went through the early stages of my recovery path, nobody was there. That's mental.
You're talking back when you were in your 20s.
Back in 99.
Yeah. Okay. Not 99. Okay. Yeah.
And so I'm 30 years old. But when it came to cardiac arrest, maybe it was partly because of my recovery and the person I'd become and the human being that showed up for the next 26 years or 22 years. When I dropped out of a cardiac arrest, millions of people reached out from the tennis community. Andre Agassi was on the phone with my brother 6 hours a day or 6 times a day, all day. Mark Ein, the owner of my World Team Tennis team, the Washington Castles, would run point for me and my family in keeping what had happened quiet until we found out what Murphy we were going to get back. You know, should we tell the press? Do we do this? Do we do that? And he was a friend. You know, Billie Jean, Chrissy. You know, I love Bill Ackman. You know, Bill Ackman, who's a tennis player, was one of the first calls, and Michael Milken were a couple of my first calls coming out of the coma. I mean, I'm still seeing lettuce heads when Bill called me. Now, people ask me, and now, because of this wild story and experience of mine, I am now speaking to high schools, universities, companies like Salesforce or Google or Cisco to share around Mental Health Month, National Recovery Month, Heart Health Month, or just, you know, how do we win every day? How do we win every day?
You're a personal coach too, right? You're like you are, right? Or am I wrong?
You know, it's funny.
Yeah.
Nothing, like I said, nothing I'm doing today. Like, you know, this is what you're going to do. You're gonna burn your life to the ground, and you're going to drop dead of a cardiac arrest, and you're going to start coaching people. You know, you go to Harvard, and they'll bring in some billionaire speaker, and he'll say, you got to find your purpose. No, you got to work your ass off and da-da-da-da. And you're going to have to live a little bit, and you're going to find, yeah, you know, you're so inspiring, Murphy. Well, that wasn't the plan. The plan, it's like everyone's got a plan until you get punched in the mouth. And
So you got to come up with another plan. Yeah.
a few times, my genius is that I think, you know, people ask me what's the greatest, most important thing. 'Cause most people want to get ahead. They want to get ahead. If you let's get to right here, right now. Let's get right with Murphy. Murphy needs to get right with Murphy before, you know, in the relationship with myself, and then, you know, like Warren Buffett will call a compounded interest. Well, I do this daily discipline, which I do. I still, after 26 years, attend 1 to 2 support group meetings a day. I'm on the phone with anybody. I was just asked by this ex-Marine who owns this drone company to be his life coach. That wasn't the plan, but now you may have seen I because of the inbound calls asking me to share my story, to give some hope, share from my perspective. I'm not here to be Tony Robbins. I am here to maybe help prevent some of God's kids from suffering.
Yeah.
I can tell you, how do you explain the unexplainable? Like you, in your experience, you have to experience it. And only you know what your experience was like and how that produced a different perspective that's rare air to still be here. I'm, you know, in addition to We Connect, you know, we you know, today I'm just doing,
Yeah. I think
or whatever
what,
day it is. You know,
yeah.
I'm doing the day I'm doing, you know, and my head will tell me part of the disease, my mental health challenge is my head, like being a human being, and the human condition for me has been my head will tell me I need to be anywhere but where I'm at. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, speaking with exactly who I'm supposed to be speaking with on the greatest podcast that has ever been created.
Love it. Love it for this moment. Right now, this is what it is. I mean, look,
It's supposed to be.
Look, I mean, I just got to tell you, this was certainly my most fun interview, hands down.
Really?
But oh yeah, this is great. We're like long lost. You're the better Jensen. I mean, Jesus, I don't know why Luke, you didn't introduce us for a long
Drop the
time.
mic, the better Jensen.
No, the better Jensen. Don't tell him I said that, but
Little
he's
brother did good.
no, but you guys are both the real deal. You're the real deal. I know you got to go, so I'll
I
help
don't.
you.
I'm here.
You're like, I don't need to go.
Larry's.
Y-
We want to get to Larry before he turns 98. But if there's
God,
anything else that I can offer you, or offer the story here, we all have our stories, and I don't think that our stories of overcoming obstacles and surviving heart conditions or heart crisis or mental health crisis or on the tennis court, the ones that make it learn how to lose. And I would imagine it's similar in real estate or in finance. Though some say you got the grinder mentality. No, I understand the process. There is a process in this thing called life that life's hit me really hard a couple of times. I mean, really hard, and I'm in my head, and the scars on my head are evidence. Uh, sometimes, sometimes,
it's
sometimes
not how hard you
it hit.
fall, but how you get back up, right?
There's that, and unequivocally, you just get a little bit, or you get lucky, and you're given grace, and you're called the miracle. I'm just Murphy, another bozo on the bus. And humility, and my word being good, and being trustworthy are the assets that make anything possible.
Well, I think that's the perfect place to end because that was awesome. And it was amazing sitting here with you. That was an hour well spent, I'll tell you that. I appreciate you so much coming on the show and taking the time. You're the real deal. I think what happened to you, it was certainly meant to be because you're still here, right? You're either not here or you're here, and you're here, and we all are very grateful for that. And I'm sure your family is beyond grateful for that, especially your two children. And I know Luke's grateful for that. Everyone's grateful for that. And now it's about what you're going to do with it. And it sounds like you're doing amazing things with it. So I want to thank you for everyone that you're helping. Again, if you have any mental, problems or any even thought of potentially having mental problems, sometimes it starts, subtly or you're confused and you don't know where to turn. You got Murphy Jensen over here. We Connect, search up the app. I'm sure you just search We Connect.
We connect health.
We Connect Health. We Connect Health. So everyone, again, thank you so much, Murphy, for coming on the show. This show, I mean, where do I go from here? I don't know, but hopefully it gets better and better. Thank you to Murphy
Powered by
Jensen.
Riverside.
I just want to thank all my listeners, and I hope that we helped someone. And, it doesn't get any better than this. Everyone, have a great week. We'll see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.